Fox News. Breaking news.
America, you're not going to believe who Elizabeth Warren is going after now. It's not a corrupt Wall Street banker, not a big pharma executive price gouging Americans. No, Pocahontas has set her sights on a 26-year-old YouTube star who made his fortune giving away money and helping people. MrBeast just acquired a teen banking app designed to teach young Americans about financial literacy. And now the Massachusetts senator is dragging him before Congress demanding answers. Since when is teaching young kids about money a crime in America? But here's what Warren doesn't want you to know about her own financial dealings. Stay right there, guys. This is going to be fun. This affects every single one of you watching right now, especially if you have kids or grandkids. MrBeast's Step app has 7 million users, mostly young Americans desperately trying to learn financial skills that our failing republic schools refuse to teach them. These kids want to understand credit, savings, investing, the basics their parents wish they learned earlier. And we've all wanted this, right? We've all said, why don't they teach us in schools? So what does Elizabeth Warren do instead? She launches a Senate investigation. Think about what this really means. The government is now targeting private citizens for the crime of teaching financial literacy. And Warren's letter demands to know if MrBeast will mention Step in his videos. She wants to know his marketing plans. She's asking if he'll create educational content about decentralized finance. Since when is that a federal offense? This is about control, folks. The establishment doesn't want young Americans learning to build wealth outside of their rigged system. They want your kids depending on government programs forever, not building credit scores and investment portfolios. And Pocahontas sees millions of young people waking up to financial freedom. And guess what? It terrifies her. And speaking of protecting your financial future from government overreach, there's never been a more important time to diversify your savings. And new numbers out of Washington show inflation is on the rise again. Another threat to you, your savings account, and your retirement. And ask yourself an honest question. Does your dollar go as far as it did 10 years ago? How about just 5 years? Or even just last year? When politicians like Elizabeth Warren or Pocahontas attack entrepreneurs trying to teach financial literacy, the value of your hard-earned money keeps shrinking. So what does the next decade look like for you and your savings? If your portfolio lacks exposure to gold, one of history's most reliable economic hedges, it's time to rethink your strategy. And gold has kept up with inflation. In many periods, it's outperformed inflation. That's why I trust Noble Gold Investments. Right now, if you open a qualifying account, Noble Gold will give you a free 10th ounce American Gold Eagle. So go to nextnewsgold.com today and don't let Washington's reckless spending destroy what you've built. Now we're going to show you exactly how Americans are responding to Warren's latest attack. So here's what the mainstream media will not tell you about this story. Elizabeth Warren, the woman demanding answers about MrBeast's finance, is worth $60 million on a senator's salary. $67 million, my apologies. How does that even happen? Meanwhile, MrBeast built his fortune the American way, creating content that millions of people love, reinvesting in his business, and now trying to help young Americans learn about money. But Warren wants him investigated. Look what patriots are saying about this blatant hypocrisy. It's MrBeast. He's trying to have kids do some good stuff. He wants our children to be literate because we've all wanted this in school. I know that my kids are going to a school where they're learning these things right now, the things that we all should have learned. I didn't learn about credit scores and banking. I learned how to write a check when I was in like middle school, I think it was. But where's all of that now? Let's see what they have to say.
MrBeast bought a bank? Okay, not really, but this is wild. Beast Industries just acquired a fintech app called Step, which has 7 million users. Step helps people learn money basics, build better credit, and generally understand their finances. Step investors include Steph Curry, Will Smith, Charlie D'Amelio, and Justin Timberlake. What, so you can say bye to your money? How does a bank run by MrBeast actually work? If you want your money, you have to live in the vault for 30 days? Do you have to do challenges before your check is gonna clear? Do you have to live on an island just to get your credit report? This isn't just content anymore. It's real tools, real access, and your real money. What do you think? Would you put your money in a bank run by a YouTube creator? Let me know down in the comments.
And I'm speaking from the perspective as a YouTube creator here. I would. I don't know how well it would be or how it would go or what kind of APR or what kind of rates we get on it. Who knows? But MrBeast's bold move into banking isn't just a stunt. It's a solution. Now let's hear why some of this is a pivotal step in empowering our younger generations financially. From Anthony Pompanello, he says MrBeast's acquisition of a banking app is another step toward our country fixing the financial education problem for young people. How many of your kids right now, for those watching who have children, are financially literate? Do they understand credit systems? Do they understand what credit utilization is and how to get your score in line to get a mortgage? And what the requirements are for an FHA versus a fixed rate mortgage versus all these other things. How confident are you in your kids' abilities to learn? I mean, we're sending money to our kids to go to school to learn how to be social extremists and protest ICE during class, instead of learning how to manage the money so they're successful later in life. Let's see.
Yesterday, we got huge news. MrBeast, the largest creator in the world, he has acquired banking app Step. Now, Step describes itself as the ultimate money app. They want to help you build credit, grow your savings, borrow money with no interest, and get cash back. Step is very focused on Gen Z, and they're trying to figure out how do you onboard these people to get money. Now, what's the plan here? I'm not really sure. There wasn't a lot of information. But we saw founder CEO CJ McDonald. He said that together they are focused on closing the financial literacy gap, and they want to amplify the Step platform and bring more groundbreaking products to the world. Now, my big takeaway when I saw this was, one, MrBeast is a way better entrepreneur than people give him credit for. But two, if you realize what's happening here is we have identified as a society the fact that young people do not have the financial tools that they need to be successful in the American economy. And so all of a sudden we are assaulting this problem. We have the government creating the Invest America accounts where they're going to give $1,000 to every newborn baby. Anyone in that baby's life can go ahead and contribute more money into the account. And in a tax-deferred way, that baby can then start to build equity in the capitalistic system over their first 18 years of their life. At the same time, we now have MrBeast, the person with the largest audience on the internet, stepping in and saying, you know what, I'm going to get in the banking game. I'm going to bring these tools to these young people. I'm going to help onboard them into the capitalist system as well. Any way that we can solve this problem, I'm all for it. Whether it's from the government helping, whether it's from MrBeast helping, or it is the big, large financial institutions also participating. We are going to need everyone participating here. There's a big problem. But if we can solve this thing, not only will it help these individuals actually end up in a better, more secure financial situation, but even more importantly, a lot of the people who are so excited about communism and socialism and all the other nonsense, they're not going to be that interested in that stuff because they're going to be making money and have a stake in capitalism and democracy. Exactly how America was built and exactly what America needs in order to continue to succeed on the global stage moving forward.
And that's one of the things that everybody talks about, the American dream. People think, oh, as soon as you turn 18, I can go out, I can make stacks of cash, I can go work at Chipotle, make 20 bucks an hour, and then I can buy a house. It takes a lot more than that. It takes years to build up your financial credit. It takes years to stack some money in the bank. Also, the time when you're a kid, you're going to spend cash too. You're going to screw up. You have to know all these downfalls and pitfalls and things that go around with it. And the American dream is not guaranteed to anybody. You have to work hard to do it. And never has there been a time in American history where you can actually do things. You can sit in a basement. You can make a business that's $1 billion company, just like MrBeast did. He didn't grow up in an affluent family. They were living on the margins. But he had a vision. He dedicated himself to that vision. He reinvested his capital to grow what he has now. Whether or not you agree with his message or how he does things, it's irrelevant. But the fact is that he's trying to educate kids right now, and something that all of us who didn't grow up in the best financial situations, like myself, didn't have the luxury of having people that went through it successfully to teach us those things. So this major financial leap, MrBeast is flaunting his entrepreneurial acumen, but not everybody is cheering. Senator Warren is sounding the alarms over potential crypto risks. Of course, they just love communism. Democrats love it. So why would they want kids to learn about capitalism? That it takes work and that kids are being taught in school. Boom, as soon as you get older, you can be an NBA player. You can be in the NFL. You can do all of these other things, except an astronaut until recently, again. But you can't succeed anywhere else. So let's see. MrBeast is facing Senate scrutiny over his acquisition of Step, a fintech app with almost more, if not more than 7 million users. Senator Elizabeth Warren is raising concern about crypto exposure to minors. It says on here, crypto and stock investing is not taught in my school, but by using Step, I'll teach my life skills, like how to balance risk with rewards and self-regulation. A lot of things kids don't get are the self-regulation portions. I didn't understand that. I still have issues with it. I like see something shiny, I'm like, oh, I want that, and then I'll get it. But you have to be able to afford it, and that's when you have to learn. Here's what you have it. Senator Warren's concerns are putting MrBeast under the microscope. Let's delve deeper into the legislative probe that questions the impact on young users. From the News Crypto. Is MrBeast bringing crypto to teens? Senator Elizabeth Warren wants answers. U.S. Senator Warren has sent a letter to MrBeast and Beast Industries regarding their plans after acquiring the teen banking app Step. This is a very long letter. It is literally detailing out section by section. Did you ever allow any user to purchase an NFT or any of these things? And does Beast Industries intend to allow users of Step to do so on and so forth? All of these questions about business decisions for buying an app. They want to put as many legal hurdles in front of people as humanly possible. Look what happened with Elon Musk leaving California. They wanted to build Starbase in California, $1 trillion investment. They went to Texas because they want the legal hurdles that are out there are just insane. They want to stymie development because they hate America. I guess that's got to be the only answer, right? Look what they're doing. They're opening the borders, letting people in. Now they don't want kids to have financial literacy. That's our next generation. We want them to have every tool, every empowerment we can give the next generations. We want them to do better than us. That's the American dream. It's not for me to be super successful, to get as high as I can so my children can do better than I did as a kid. And so their kids can do better. Same thing for your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandchildren. We need to build this country and do these things so we are successful as a nation. Crypto might be shaking things up for teens, but Warren's not buying it. Up next, citizens fired back at Warren, accusing her of hypocrisy instead. For Mario, he says, he made something people want to buy. You profit from insider information and grift. Chief spreading bull. Yes. She claims she's the one that said she was Cherokee or whatever. And patriots are calling out the senator's own financial gains. And on that note, what fights will Warren pick next if she faces mounting criticism? From Primo, another meme. I love these memes. Who should Pocahontas pick a fight with next? She's just picking a box, just whoever it is. She just wants to do it so she stays relevant. And don't forget, she wanted to be president. She almost became like the Democrat nominee. She wanted, like, why do they hate America so much? It's clear Elizabeth Warren is on the offensive, but is she deflecting from her own controversies? Watches the senator focus on crypto and kids comes to a head. Elizabeth Warren says, I have questions for MrBeast. Warren requests information from MrBeast about crypto and children. I mean, the framing of that article sounds like it could be dangerous, right? Like, ooh, kids exposed to crypto. That's not something most adults are comfortable with. So they have to get that little fear snippet in there. The world's most popular YouTube celebrity who marketed to children has bragged about crypto trades is getting into banking. Senator Elizabeth Warren has concerns. Of course she has concerns. What about your insider trading? What about Nancy Pelosi coming into Congress now being worth $500 million? What about Elizabeth Warren coming in as a senator and not having a lot of cash, being worth a couple $100,000 on her initial disclosures to over $60 million now? $67 million. I don't know. With the senator's wealth under scrutiny, the question arises, who really benefits from this showdown with MrBeast? Let's reveal how these financial narratives stack up. And I will say this, Democrats don't know what they're messing with. If Joe Rogan was enough to flip the 2024 presidential election, according to the Democrats, right? He did that. Imagine what happens when MrBeast goes on an offensive. Hey kids, I'm trying to teach you guys all these great things for your life and how you can be better financially literate. But guess what? The Democrats didn't want me to do that. Imagine if he told that to billions of kids who watch his video. Democrats, how do you think that's going to go? It's not going to go well for Democrats when those kids become of age to vote. So from Herman Sarber, he says, how did MrBeast achieve his net worth? A, hard work. B, YouTube's revenue share program. C, entertaining millions of viewers. Or D, all of the above. For the slow kids at the back of class, the answer is D, all of the above. How did Elizabeth Warren achieve her net worth? A, senator salary. B, business ownership prior to wherever. Or C, defrauding, and none of the above. Net worth, $67 million. Look at that face, $67 million. Her salary is $285,000 a year. Came into Congress and the Senate worth less than $1 million. Now she's worth almost $70 million. And here's what this is really about, America. The establishment is terrified of losing control of the next generation. For decades, they've kept financial literacy out of schools deliberately. They want Americans dependent on government handouts, not building generational wealth. But MrBeast represents everything that they hate. A self-made success story who bypassed the gatekeepers, built an empire through hard work and creativity, and now wants to pass that knowledge to millions of young Americans? We're going to keep the some things that are going on with MrBeast aside and just focus on this one aspect for now. I have a million comments on the other stuff. But Elizabeth Warren doesn't have questions. She has an agenda. She wants to regulate, restrict, and ultimately destroy any avenue that teaches young people how to build wealth outside of government control. This is the same playbook they've used against crypto, against small businesses, against anybody who threatens a monopoly on the American dream. But here's the good news. they're losing. Plain and simple. And Patriots, what you just witnessed is the establishment showing its hand. They're not protecting children, they're protecting their power. MrBeast created something that could genuinely help millions of young Americans achieve financial independence and literacy, and the government's response is investigation and intimidation. This is exactly why we fight, folks. This is why the Next News Network exists, and this is why so many channels around the country exist to fight this kind of thing. Share this video with every parent you know. They need to understand what's really happening here. Drop a comment and tell me, should Elizabeth Warren be investigating entrepreneurs, or should Congress be investigating how she became worth $67 million on a government salary? Yes or no? Let me hear it. And if you guys can, text raw feed to 844-840-4963 to get ahead of the algorithm and to help share the message. And if you guys want to support journalism that tells your truth, check out the Next News merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. My name's Tom McCullough. As always, stay informed, stay free, and God bless.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
I want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.